Besides Miami Heat star Jamie Jaquez Jr. dunking over Victor Wembanyama in the 112-107 loss to the San Antonio Spurs on Wednesday night, there were other standout performances in the outing, like from rookie Kasparas Giannis. While there was some speculation about whether the season could be a developmental year for the Heat's first-round pick, he showed the fan base and especially head coach Erik Spoelstra why he could produce right from the jump. Despite being 19 years old, he looked very comfortable against NBA competition, even with it being exhibition games, as he made his preseason debut after missing the last 2 games with a wrist injury. When Giannis checked in with over 2 minutes left in the first quarter, he brought a huge spark to the team, bringing the pace the team has been looking for, along with the playmaking that made him a first-round talent in the first place. He finished the game with 8 points to go along with 10 assists, 2 steals, and a block, leading the second unit that had Spoelstra compare him to jet fuel. He's been around really since right after Summer League, so we've been able to see him in his workouts. You see his tenaciousness, and just his approach to everything is full speed, Spoelstra said to Clutch Points. He has a kamikaze element to him. Him and Pelle Larsson are going to spend a lot of time on the ground, but he's like jet fuel, and he just immediately you feel his energy and his speed. It was great to have him out there. It was fun, Spoelstra continued. That was fun, those minutes. We didn't get the win, but the second unit played winning basketball. It was really good basketball. It was fun to watch. Heat's Kasparas Giannis on expectations coming into preseason debut. As fans got to see firsthand what makes Heat's Giannis unique from other rookies, the rest of the team, more importantly, saw what he can do on the court. The biggest benefactor arguably is Kel'el Ware, who had a stellar night with 29 points and 12 rebounds, as their connection could be one to watch this season. Speaking after the game, Giannis didn't come into the game with any expectations, more focused on following what the coaching staff had told him to do. "I don't expect anything," Giannis said. "I'm just going there and trying to do my job, and whatever situation I get, I try to do that. Whatever coach tells me, I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to play fast, even though I think we could even play faster today, but everything just comes from practice," Giannis continued. "Try to do my job." Another player that was impressed, and funny enough, a fellow first-round pick, was Jamie Jaquez Jr., who finished with 19 points. He said to Clutch Points that he has been tremendous and called him a great facilitator. "This was the first time I really got to see him play up close. I know, had some injuries, was out a little bit, but I was extremely impressed. I was really proud of how he played," Jaquez said. "He's such a hard worker and a great listener. So, anytime anyone wants to coach him up, he's there to listen. He's been tremendous. And I was really happy to see, great facilitator. He had an outstanding game tonight." Giannis looks to build off his eye-opening preseason debut with the next game on Sunday against the Orlando Magic. The Miami Heat are learning plenty about themselves as they navigate the preseason. None of these lessons, though, are more important than the discovery that Kel'el Ware needs to play with the second unit. Kudos to head coach Erik Spoelstra and the rest of the staff for recognizing this to begin the year. They must now resist the temptation to experiment more following Ware's mesmerizing performance against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs. The Heat's bench personnel is better suited to Kel'el Ware. Playing with the second unit ensures that Ware will be alongside players who both get off the ball quickly and are more prone to deep drives. It says a lot that Kasparas Giannis has assisted Ware more than anyone else on the Heat so far. His downhill attacks not only draw to the ball, but routinely culminate in paint touches. There's one thing you get with a natural playmaker like Cass. He gets off the ball quick. That's what good passers do. Denies the double screen again here, draws 2 in the paint, and makes that dump off to Ware before he even spins inside. He just reads and reacts. This type of play is not the strength of an Andrew Wiggins, Bam Adebayo, or even a healthy Tyler Herro. And if you're worried about Giannis having a limited role as a rookie, bench mob lineups are sure to incorporate Pelle Larsson, someone else who excels at extending his drives deep into the paint. Once Herro returns from his ankle injury, Miami is also bound to roll out more Norman Powell plus the bench units. We saw a glimpse of it when the Heat played the Spurs, and he shared the floor with Ware, Giannis, Larsson, and Kashad Johnson. Guess what Powell is also good at doing? That's right, putting pressure on the basket out of his drives. Ware is wired to thrive alongside these types of players. He can rim run after setting screens, but also duck in from the corners or the wing when his teammates get going downhill. And while he won't be operating beside an A-plus playmaker, this is basically true of any Heat lineup. Sprays and dump-offs out of drives are reads that Powell, Larson, and Jakushionis are more than capable of making. Plus, if Miami does turn out to have an A-plus passer on its roster, it's probably going to be Cass himself. There's another major benefit to bringing Ware off the bench. Letting Ware run with the second unit likewise limits his time alongside Adebayo. If you want to talk about it, but this is probably the right move. For as much range as Bam has flashed, his outside shot remains theoretical. Despite shooting 50% from 3 in the preseason, the same goes for Ware's three-point touch. More critically, Ware isn't hardwired to be a space-in-place threat. He is at his most effective when he has the freedom to screen and cut and roam. It gets much harder to use him in that way if he's playing alongside Bam. Last season proved as much. Ware shot 59.3% on twos with Adebayo on the court and 64.6% without him. Though his rim frequency actually went up in dual big lineups, the quality of looks wasn't that great, and his finishing rate dropped. With guys like Powell, Larson, and Jakushionis getting run in secondary lineups, there's also a chance Ware's rim frequency dramatically improves this season when he's the lone big. The entire point of preseason is to experiment. If the Heat really want to test out more Ware plus the starters looks, they're free to go ahead. Ultimately, they will come to the same conclusion, that their 21-year-old big man is at his best coming off the bench, at least for now. A blockbuster Miami Heat trade pitch sees the franchise adding a well-compensated all-star forward. And no, it's not 9-time All-NBA Milwaukee Bucks power forward Giannis Antetokounmpo, whom the Heat have been eyeing off and on for years now, including as recently as this summer. The Heat are now searching for their next superstar after 6-time All-Star forward Jimmy Butler forced a trade out of town. Butler ultimately landed with the Golden State Warriors at the 2025 deadline, instantly transforming the seemingly lottery-bound team into fringe contenders in a talented Western Conference. Miami, meanwhile, stumbled to a 37-45 record and got swept in the first round of the playoffs by the Cleveland Cavaliers. A new 2-time All-Star for the Heat. Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report, who slammed the Heat as the Miami lukewarm on paper right now, proposed that the club consider bringing in 2-time All-Star New Orleans Pelicans forward Zion Williamson, who has struggled with health and personal issues since being selected with the number 1 pick out of Duke in the 2019 NBA Draft. With no real chance at a title this season unless they swing a big trade, a deal for a newly slimmed-down Zion Williamson would breathe some life into the franchise, Swartz wrote. The 6'6" pro, now 25, has been limited to 30 or fewer games in 4 of his 6 pro seasons, including missing all of 2021-22 to recover from a surgery to address a right foot Jones fracture. Last year, Williamson appeared in just 30 games, averaging 24.6 points on 56.7% shooting from the field and 65.6% shooting from the charity stripe. He also pulled down 7.2 boards, dished out 5.3 dimes, swiped 1.2 steals, and blocked 0.9 shots.